What does bodily autonomy mean to you?
Having a say in what happens to your body.
For me, bodily autonomy is respecting women's rights to choose how they see fit for their body when they're pregnant or growing up or at any point in their lives, allowing them to be the arbiter of their body and make decisions that they believe is right for them.
So bodily autonomy to me is the right to choose what happens to you in your body. It's not just for females, it is for males too. You can think about the right to choose to have kids, or even like the right to choose like what you want to wear for school. Some people take it to the extreme and can even think about like male circumcision as like a choice for like non-bodily autonomy, because a lot of people are circumcised when they're babies and they don't choose to it, right? It's like their family chooses it for like maybe cleanliness reasons or maybe religious reasons. But bodily autonomy is just the right to choose what happens to you and your body anytime, anywhere.
My body, my choice.
Bodily autonomy to me means that I have control of whatever I do with my body, that no one else has a say of what I can do with it, and that it's just me.
So what it means to me is that I think everyone should have complete control over their body, because there's a lot of repercussions when you don't, economically, in society, and I just think it's important that people get to make decisions regarding their own body.
To me, it means having agency over my body, having control, but understanding that I want to take care of my community and making sure that I'm doing the best I can. Overall, that just means I get to choose what I want with my body. So,
I suppose it would be a very similar answer to the one you just heard. The ability to do with your body what you want to do, or the right to do with your body what you would choose to do, perhaps. Possession of your body, and specifically that things would not be done to your body also without you wanting them done.
I'm nervous. I feel like body autonomy is being able to have the choice of what you want to do with your body without repercussion, and kind of the idea that you could be free in whatever you want to do, whatever you pursue to do.
It means taking care of my own body and being in charge of what it does and not listening to what others have to say about it, unless it's like a healthy opinion. And just treating my body to the best of its ability so it can do things that it likes to do and function.
I think that bodily autonomy is the ability for any person to make the decisions of how they want to present their body and what they want to do with their bodies. Some examples is the clothes you put on in the morning, the things you want to do with your body healthcare-wise, and how you want to express yourself.
I would say it's probably the right to choose what a person does with their body and how they react to others and how they use their body. And I think that they should just keep the ethical perspective in mind when doing so and be free with their choice.
Bodily autonomy to me is being able to make decisions over my own body, considering that it's mine and I have to live in it every day. I should be able to make decisions for myself without anybody's unwanted input, that is. Just having control over my own actions, what my body does, what I can do with it.
To me, bodily autonomy means having control over your body and what you do with it without any infringement from a government or a society as a whole.
Bodily autonomy, to me, means having the confidence and the ability to do whatever you want to do and not being dragged down by the people around you, unless it's under the circumstances of you're causing harm to someone else.
With the recent masking mandate with the COVID-19 outbreak, would you consider that a breach of bodily autonomy?
I would say no, because of, like I kind of just said, to the extent at which you're harming someone else, do you always have to put the sense of community ahead of, I wouldn't say your personal agency is negated, but you have to compromise where you can to make sure you're keeping everyone else safe.
I don't think it does, because personally I feel like we should all protect one another, and if that means like you have to put something in order to protect someone else, like that, in that case, like maybe there's an exception to that.
No, because we're all in the same boat here in terms of that. You can't do something that putting on masks also affects other people. It's not just about you, it's about other people, and that's really important. If you do something that you believe is good for you but harms other people, then you are therefore violating their bodily autonomy.
For me, personally, no, because I'm making an educated decision on what I want to do with my body, especially in my family. I have people who are at risk to COVID, so for me, I made that decision for myself that I wanted to wear masks.
No more than public decency laws mandating that people wear clothes.
Well, technically, you're still asking me to do something with my body, so I think when you make it a mandatory thing, you're not giving that person a choice. But you're also thinking about your community as well, which is essential. So I would say there is some, I would say, like, in that case, like, I would put a mask on for people that have, like, any health pre-existing conditions or something like that. But for the most part, I think someone should just have the choice to do what they want, whether that's masking, vaccinations, or I don't know, anything of that sort. But that's just me.
I personally don't, because I think protecting other people is a good thing to do, but I can understand where people go the other way, although I disagree.
I wouldn't say it's a breach of bodily autonomy, because ultimately masking is to prevent the spread of disease. It is to enable everyone else's bodily autonomy. If someone is sick, I think that has the potential to cause more harm to one's body than to wear a piece of cloth over your face.
All right. With the recent decisions regarding the Supreme Court and abortion, how do you feel about that ruling in regards to bodily autonomy?
I think it is a gross breach of bodily autonomy rights. I don't think that there's any justification for it, because it is all about one's body and one's control over it, and abortion is life-saving care. It is fundamental to human rights.
I think that's a direct violation of your personal agency and your bodily autonomy. I think, you could go into so many different layers about that, but at the end of the day, that's the mother's right to choose, or the potential mother's right to choose as her own bodily autonomy.
I think that really violates a lot of bodily autonomy. I think that it's very indicative that a bunch of very old white men are making decisions on women's bodies that they just don't really understand. The vast majority of people won't understand it, and I think it's very indicative of this country and a lot of problems that it has.
I think it's a huge step back. I'm a firm believer that if it's your body, it's your choice, especially in the scenario where it is a woman who has to decide whether she wants to bring a kid into this world. So I think it's a huge step back.
Can I curse?
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. That's not a good. You want me to expand, but that's the gist of it.
Interesting order of questions. I would say that this is setting up a false equivalency, that the breach of bodily autonomy caused by the repeal of Roe v. Wade is significantly greater than asking people to wear a piece of fabric over their faces.
Okay. But what are your views on the Roe v. Wade being overturned?
I obviously think that it's abhorrent that Roe v. Wade was overturned. This has caused already a lot of serious problems for a lot of people. It has resulted in potentially life-saving procedures being illegal now, which is ridiculous.
And then final question. What does it mean to not have bodily autonomy?
To not have bodily autonomy would be to not be able to do what you want to your body and have things done to your body that you do not want done to your body. For instance, if you have bodily autonomy, you can choose to get a tattoo or choose to not get a tattoo. If you don't have bodily autonomy and somebody says you're getting a tattoo, you're getting that tattoo.
It's mine after all.